Guys, in this video, it's going to be all about tracking your food and using MyFitnessPal to do so. Tracking your food is really important for like any weight loss goals. So losing weight, gaining weight, body composition goals such as fat loss and building muscle. You can reach your goals without tracking your foods, but it's a lot easier. It can make the process so much easier if you do track it. You can be more confident in being able to maintain those results. And you might even be able to see the results faster. Tracking your food will make you aware of how much and of what you're eating, and your specific goals will determine what you're tracking. So some people will just be tracking calories, some will be tracking their protein intake, some will do all three macros, so proteins, carbs, and fats. Some people, they just need to see how many veggies they're eating throughout the day. Whatever your goals are and whatever you're working towards, tracking your food can be really helpful, and MyFitnessPal is an awesome way to do that. I recommend using MyFitnessPal because it's a free app. There is an upgraded premium version that you do have to pay for, but I don't think that you need that. So it's not really necessary. If you do pay for the upgraded version, you can set your own macro goals in there. But you can use the free version and be successful that way. You just know to ignore the numbers that they're giving you. So you want to sign up for MyFitnessPal. And when you log in, it will ask you for your information, things like your age, your weight, your height, things like that. And it'll use that information to spit out some goals for you. I don't really recommend following those goals because they're not accurate for you. They don't know like where you're at, how your metabolism's functioning, what you've been eating, your habits, things like that. So you want to really have a coach to help you figure out those macro goals, what you're going to be tracking, what your goals are with those numbers. And then you can kind of just ignore the numbers that the app's showing. If seeing those numbers that the app is showing you that you're kind of ignoring is a problem for you, then maybe that premium version is for you and you want to pay so that you can set your goals in there and you can see those goals every day. Once you have your account set up, then it's time for the fun stuff, which is logging and tracking your food. I'm going to be showing you this on my phone. The version of the app that you can see on the computer is not the same as on your phone. So I am going to be trying to screen record what I'm doing on my phone and then piece together the videos so that you can see what I'm doing on here. And we're just going to hope that that works. So when you log in to MyFitnessPal, you're going to see a home screen, and it basically just looks like a social feed. So there's some articles and things like that. Down at the bottom, you'll see where it says home, diary, recipes, plans, and me. We're going to focus on the diary tab. If you click on the diary tab, you're going to see the breakdown of the meals for the day. So there's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and if you keep scrolling down, there's water too. If you go on your computer into MyFitnessPal and you log in there, you're able to change these. So you can change the names of the meals. So you could put like pre-workout meal, post-workout meal, whatever you want to call them. And I believe you can add up to 2 more fields. So you can personalize it that way, or you can just leave it like this. First, we're going to go over just adding food that you're eating if you have some packaged food. So if the food is packaged, so I have this chocolate chip cookie dough Quest bar, and it's packaged and it has a barcode on it. So if you're eating a packaged food that has a barcode, it's easy to add. You just go to the meal you want to add it to and you click add food underneath here. In the top right corner, there's the barcode. You click on that. You scan the barcode. Once it comes up, you want to make sure that it matches the nutrition facts that are on the label of the food, and this one matches. So then on the top right corner, I'm going to click that check mark, which will then add it to my diary. So now you can see under breakfast that chocolate chip cookie dough protein bar is there. Once you do have some food into your diary for the day, you can scroll down and click on this nutrition tab. You can see your calories for the day and the breakdown of the meals. You can see macros and their percentages. And if you click on nutrients, you can see your proteins, carbs, and fats. If you're tracking all 3 macros, you can see your total. So if I ate this Quest bar, I would have had 21 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fat. The next column is my goal. So this is the goal that the app is giving to me because I have the free version. So you're going to want to ignore that goal and left. That's how much you have left to eat if that was your goal. So this is where the premium version might be helpful because you can set that goals to whatever you want it to be. So it'll automatically calculate how much you have left for the day. But you can also just do that yourself. So if I know that my goal is 140 grams of protein in the day, and I had 21 grams of protein from this bar, then I would know that I have 119 grams of protein left in my day. Going back to our diary, the next thing we're going to talk about is logging food that does have a barcode, but it's not packaged in a single serving. So like this protein bar, if I ate it, I was eating the whole thing. That's how I logged it. For this example, I'm going to use this Greek yogurt. I love this Greek yogurt. I eat it like every day. You can see it does have a barcode. There it is. And it has the nutrition facts here. But this container is 6 servings. So same idea here. When you go to add this, you click on add food under the meal. In the right-hand corner, you click on that barcode. Then we scan the barcode. Once it pops up, we make sure that the nutrition facts match what the container says. Then if I am eating 1 serving, so if I'm eating 170 grams of this yogurt, then I would click on that check mark in the top. But let's say I'm eating 200 grams of this yogurt. That's about 1.2 servings. So I would click on the serving size and I would change this from 1 to 1.2 and hit save. Then you'll notice that the macros, the carbs, the fats, and the proteins have adjusted to be for 200 grams instead of 1 serving, which is 170 grams. After you have that set, you click on that check mark in the top right and it adds it to your diary. What's important when you're scanning your foods is to really make sure that it is matching the nutrition facts label that is on the container. The cool thing about MyFitnessPal is it allows you to add your own foods, but that means that some people are adding foods and there can be mistakes. So you really want to make sure that it matches. Another thing is that sometimes companies change their foods. So I could have had this yogurt a year ago and the nutrition facts on here could be different. So they could have changed something that's in it or who knows. And it could be slightly different. So you want to make sure that it matches. So then if you scan something and you can't find it in the app or you can't find one that's accurate, then you can add your own foods. So to do that, again, you'll click under the meal that you want to put it in. And then for this, you will click the add up in the top right corner. You'll click on create a food. And then here, it'll ask for the information. So I'm going to act like I didn't find an accurate entry of this yogurt. So it has brand name, and this is Faye. And the description is Greek yogurt. And the serving size is 170 grams. Servings per container is 6. So I'm getting this information right off of the nutrition label on the container. And then the calories is going to be 90. The fat is going to be 0. The carbs is 5. The fiber is 0. And the protein is 18. I'm going to hit next. Nope, I'm going to hit save up at the top. It asks for add nutrient information. So that's like if you wanted to add in more of the information that's on the nutrition label. You don't have to, so I'll just hit no thanks. And now it's been added. Make sure once you add it that you do have the right amount of servings that you're having. So this put it at a 1.2 for me. Oh no, that was my other entry. So I put it at 1 serving, which is the 170 grams. So if I had 200 grams, I would want to switch it to that 1.2 and save. check mark to add it. And then you can actually see it says 204 grams. So it's close. My math was a little off. Another thing to keep in mind is that you want to look for foods with a green check mark. So if you're adding foods that don't have a nutrition label or a barcode, which is good, right? Veggies and fresh produce from the store, they don't have barcodes to scan. So an example for this is, say I wanted to eat an apple. We'll say a Fuji apple because I love Fuji apples. So what you can do is do that add food, and then in the search bar, you'll type in Fuji apple and search. Notice if I scroll down, this one has a green check mark next to it. So you really want to try and use as much as possible the foods with a green check mark. That means that their nutrition has been confirmed. So up at the top, you can actually select green check mark only, and you'll only see the options with that green check mark. So here's a Fuji apple. Ideally, you'll be weighing it to get the right serving. So I would choose 154 grams. And based on however much my apple weighed, I would adjust that serving size and add it to my diary. If you're on the run and you don't have time, you actually don't have a scale with you, you can't weigh it, but you need to eat, and you're grabbing an apple, you can search for one that is your best guess. So sometimes they'll say like one medium apple, one large apple. A best guess is better than nothing. So the other thing is that when you do have packaged foods, like this yogurt, for example, it'll have two serving sizes. So this shows 3/4 cups and 170 grams. And whenever possible, you want to use the weight measurement. So here we have one volume measurement and one weight measurement. And you want to use the weight measurement as much as possible because it's going to be more accurate. So for this, it says 3/4 cups. If you use a 3/4 cup measuring cup, it could be like a little bit less. It could be a heaping scoop, right? So it's a little bit more. But if you weigh it out to 170 grams, that's always going to be 170 grams. So keep in mind that you want to use the weight measurement as much as possible. If you don't have a scale with you and you can't do that, then your best guess, again, is better than nothing. Some questions that I get a lot are about raw or cooked foods. So do you weigh and track raw or cooked? Either way is actually fine. It's kind of personal preference, whatever easier for you, but you want to make sure that you're consistent. And however you're weighing it is how you want to log it. I like to cook my meats in bulk and then weigh them out as I eat them throughout the week. So for example, I will be using chicken breast. So if I search for chicken breast, I can say chicken breast cooked. And if I search right there, chicken breast, green check mark, and it's cooked, 100 grams. So I can adjust the serving size to however much I'm eating. If you like to do it raw, I just think that's a little bit more inconvenient, but if you do, that's okay. It'll also show up as chicken breast raw, and you can use that as your entry. Whichever way you choose to do, just make sure that you're consistent and you do it like that all the time. The other thing is when you go to restaurants. So if you go to a chain restaurant, a lot of them are already in MyFitnessPal. And if they're not, you can go on their websites and find their nutrition information. And then you would just add it like we added this yogurt if I couldn't find it in MyFitnessPal entry. So let's say add food. We're going to get a vanilla latte from Starbucks. And I search that. And here we have all the options. There's a vanilla latte from Starbucks right there, grande vanilla latte from Starbucks. So you could just choose that and add it to your diary. If you go to a restaurant that doesn't have entries in MyFitnessPal and you can't find their nutrition information on their website, you can just guess your best guess. So what you want to do is you want to take each ingredient that's part of the meal and do your best guess for that. So if you got, let's say you got salmon and mashed potatoes and veggies, you're going to kind of eyeball it. And as you are tracking more and more, you'll get better at guessing how much it is, right? If you look at it, you can find, oh, that's probably 4 ounces. You can track that. Your best guess, again, is better than nothing. So just guess, but make sure you do each ingredient that you're getting with the meal. Unless, of course, it's already entered in and you can just add it from there. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is adding recipes to MyFitnessPal. So a question that I get a lot is, what if I don't want to eat like a piece of chicken and rice and veggies that I can weigh separately so that I know how to track them? And I don't want to do that for every meal. It's understandable. You want to make delicious tasting recipes and you want to be able to log them and still stay on track. So we're going to do that by adding a recipe into MyFitnessPal. So when you log in, you can, on the home screen or on the diary screen, down at the bottom in that menu, you're going to click on Me. Up at the top, you'll click My Items. You can see that I have 18 recipes in here already. So next to recipes, you'll click on Create. It'll give you an option, Add from the web or enter ingredients manually. So you'll choose Enter ingredients manually. And then we're going to say that I'm making a frittata and that it's going to make 6 recipes. I hit Next at the top and I am going to hit Add ingredients. There's the barcode option. So if you have ingredients that you're adding that are packaged foods with barcodes, you can go ahead and scan them. But I am not actually making a recipe. I'm just winging it. So I'm going to search. Say I'm using spinach. And again, that green check only. Here's baby spinach, 25 grams. We're going to say I'm going to use 25 grams. So we'll add it. That'll add it to my ingredients list. To add more, I'll go to the top, hit that add button. Now I'm going to say I'm using feta cheese and search. So there's feta cheese options right there. Feta cheese, 30 grams. We'll say I'm using 30 grams just for ease right now. Click that check mark, it'll add it. Now I'm going to add eggs. So here's 1 large egg with a green check mark, and we're going to say I'm using 5 eggs. Check, and it adds it to my ingredients list. I am also going to add some red bell pepper and we'll say we're adding 1 large just for convenience sake. So once you have all your ingredients in this ingredient list here, you'll hit next down at the bottom and you can see that it is showing you that it's a frittata. There's 6 servings and per serving 85 calories, 2.4 carbs, 5.2 fat, 6.7 protein. If you hit save, then you can add it to your diary. Right here, it's showing up breakfast for today. Here's my breakdown for 1 serving. Let's say I'm going to eat 2 servings. And there's my breakdown macronutrients and calories for 2 servings. I hit the check mark at the top, and now it's added to my diary. So hopefully that covers most of the questions that you have about tracking your food in MyFitnessPal. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'll be glad to help you out with that, maybe make another video if needed. So just let me know. I hope this helped.